Today we're going to talk about writing about literature. Writing about literature, it's not very different from other forms of academic writing, but there are some specific things we're going to talk about it, especially about fiction. So the examples are going to be from stories that we read in the course. So one of the first things we have to acknowledge about writing is that it's difficult. You have to think, you have to concentrate, you have to produce something new. There's a lot of worries and anxieties about writing. But one of the things that helps us to write is to know the structures and have some kind of recurring process that we can undergo in order to improve our writing and produce more writing. This is a lifelong task. As long as you're going to be an academic, a writer, anything like that, you're going to improve and better your skills all the time, and you're all going to be teaching writing and be expected to write to some extent in your everyday job. So it's good to practice writing. And today we are going to talk about writing about literature. This is relevant to a lot of the classwork that you're going to do for the rest of the semester, but also for the entirety of your academic career in the college, as long as you'll be writing about literature. And my ambition is that I'm going to meet all of you again, or some of you at least again, in next year, or in 2 years, or 3 years, and you'll be writing a 20-page seminar with me, and you'll have these skills just the same way as you're writing one paragraph for this course, you're going to write 20 pages. Okay? What do you So the question for today is, what do you do when you get a question like this? What's the significance of the yellow wallpaper in the story The Yellow Wallpaper? Quite general. There can be a number of answers, but what do you do with this question, right? Write a paragraph about this question. Or, what is the main social conflict in the sacrificial egg? Why do the townspeople ignore Miss Emily's crime for so long despite the evidence? What is the role of anti-Semitism in the Jew bird? All of these are questions about interpretation. You might even at one point get something like, write a short essay about Pride and Prejudice. Where do you begin? What do you do? So I'm not going to answer those questions. I'm going to try to answer, what do you do when you're asked such questions? So by the end of this class, you'll be more acquainted with the writing process for writing about literature. You know the structure of an argument paragraph, and you'll have some words and phrases that you can use within those paragraphs, kind of markers that will help you make sure that it's clear where we are at with your paragraphs. Okay, so I'm going to teach you a process and some basic tools for carrying out this process. So whenever we talk about teaching writing, we have to teach two different things. The product, how the final product, how the final essay, or how the final letter, or how the finalized paragraph is going to look, and we're going to teach the process. What are the steps through which the writing will be carried out? Okay, because we might know the final product, we might read a novel, but that doesn't mean that we know the steps through which people went in order to write said novel. So this is basically what we're going to talk about in this class. First, I'm going to talk about the structure of the paragraph, and then I'm going to talk about the process. Okay, some of these things are going to be repeated twice because in order to understand what you're supposed to do in the process, you need to know the end result that you want